Welcome to another edition of Foxy Music, the only show that knows it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, and we can't be arsed. Mad Foxes, I'm Johnny.
I'm a mess.
And I'm Nigel.
Well then, let's go straight to the chase. Last week's homework. Paul.
I really enjoyed it. What I can remember. My headache kind of means I wouldn't enjoy it too much right now. Yeah, so don't drink too much pop when you go out, kids.
It's the sugar. It's crashing.
Yeah, sugar, that's it.
So you had
Vadoom, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have called them doomy, which Alex did last week, but I can definitely see the African tribal influence, and I just really enjoyed them. Yeah.
Did she really sound like Aretha Franklin?
A bit, yeah.
You can see
She
that.
could definitely sing that sort of stuff. She
Yeah.
could definitely put a voice to that kind of genre easily.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really enjoyed it. Give him a listen.
Oh, we'll call that a win.
Yeah, indeed.
Nigel.
So I had Car Seat Headrest,
Yes.
and I've forgotten the name of the album.
There's so many.
So, gave me a thought. So I think we need to set our listeners a challenge. Anyone who can suggest an album that I don't own, that I managed to listen all the way through to the end, wins
Something.
Mad Fox's
We'll
EP.
get back to you. EP, t-shirt. We'll think of something.
Yeah, but good luck. So the question you're now asking yourself
Is how far did you
did
get?
Alex win? Is he
Is
answers
he a winner?
So it was a brave attempt. Brave attempt. So he described it as textured.
Did you get over 2 minutes?
I did. I got
That's-
all the way to the tram stop, which from here is about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So that was quite good.
That's like longer than you'd spend at a hit pre-show.
Yes.
We've established, so that's
Yes,
great.
Yes. So not bad at all. He described it as textured, and I agree. It's very, very rich in texture. Reminded me, the good bits reminded me of Sonic Youth.
And they would be good bits.
And it's not. I wouldn't say there were bad bits. It was really, it's good stuff.
Well, he said
Uh,
interesting.
But
So
just not a little too poppy for me. The singer is clearly quite a talented singer, which usually puts me off. And in this case, it did.
yeah.
So I think the bit I'd struggle listening to much more of would have been his vocals.
Yeah.
But he is a good singer, and I could see why people would like them. And it does kind of come in and out in terms of variation. Interesting things pop in
That's good.
just when you're about to go, I've had enough.
Yeah.
So that's what kept me going 15 minutes. But sorry, Alex. That's as far as I got.
Don't make it to the end.
Did you listen all the way through Peace of Mind? Iron Maiden, that I say it first time. Did I win?
No.
No, me thinking I won the old
No, I
EP
think
and
I
t-shirt.
I've skipped the middle bits.
Yeah.
I thought if I do the start and the end, then that's close enough to do my homework.
Yeah, because it's like beginning. Yeah, missile. Yeah, so I had, I think, a similar experience to yourself. I had Ween, and I had the Mollusk. And for the most part, I enjoyed it. If I do the negatives first, or such as they are, there's not many. There's on the more acoustic led tracks. There was a huge Beatles and sort of Abbey Road Beatles that influence that was very, very obvious, or at least that's my interpretation of it, and that was a bit like, I want to skip this one. But I was wary to skip it because I thought, because the songs previous on the album were like, it could start like that, but it could go
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So it was like, I've got to keep listening in case it does that, which unfortunately some of them didn't. But as the album as a whole, yeah, everything he said was pretty much right. Every vocal delivery was different with effects or just generally style. And yeah, there was bits of techno, there was bits of rock, but there was bits of Beatles. But yeah, I made it all the way through, and it made me look up other Ween albums. So I had enough about it to make me go, I want to see what else they've done, because I know they have a reputation for being very varied and interesting, and it probably was. I think he referenced it as a gateway album, like some kind of Ween pusher, to get me hooked.
A bit of Ween.
I suppose that I think maybe that was personal to me, because he knows I like varied ones. Because I did go, like, YouTube sent me straight from that one to another one that was like far more commercial. And I thought maybe I'd give that to a lot of people to say, because it was the other one, I think White Pepper, and that had a very 80s vibe going on. I think I'd probably give people that one as a commercially viable option. But the Mollusk was good, and it was different. It did, again, it sort of, you wondered what was next, because they could do anything, which is a good thing overall. So I enjoyed it. So I'll call that a win.
Yeah, good week.
Yeah, it's been alright. I definitely want to find time to go listen to the other two that he gave you as well.
I'm definitely going to be listening to some Overdue. Car seat headrest sounds interesting as well.
Yeah.
Because I do like talented singers.
Okay.
Although I can get along with Alice Cooper. So.
Maybe what Nigel considers a talented singer and what you consider a talented singer could be too.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
Depends
Well,
on
like I
the
said,
definition of talent. Do we have any talent? In the comments. We'll be disabled, don't worry about it. So, before we ramble on too much, so a little bit of Mad Fox's trivia this week. Mad Fox's, the name Mad Fox's, actually donated to us by, now known as Lol Shango, actually comes from an old B movie, exploitation movie, if you will. Have you actually watched it?
Yet.
No,
I've seen bits of it on YouTube, and I want to watch it.
I have,
It
and
looks
it's
absolutely terrible.
It is absolutely atrocious.
That means we should watch it.
Yeah, all the worst elements of the kind of B-movie exploitation genre, they're all there. It ticks pretty much every box. Nuns, bikers, all of that.
Nuns and bikers, what more can you want?
Yeah, nun, biker.
I know there's boobs in bits I've seen as well. So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. I mean, I'd want like robotic nuns,
Okay.
like
That's that.
With
probably
machine guns for arms.
sounds like a
Ed
specialist
209 in a
social-
habit.
with machine guns for breasts. This is an
yeah.
80s B movie we're talking about.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you want the Quentin Tarantino version of the 80s B movie?
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's you pretty much described Death Wish. Is it Death Wish or the other one?
Death with the cars. Death Proof.
Death
With the
Proof.
stunt drivers.
Yeah. Or was it the other one he released at the same time?
There's Death Proof and Planet Terror. Planet Terror was the zombie one, and
I
Death
know,
Proof was the
it's
car
Death Proof, yeah.
road movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
We go off track.
movies which would be nothing, damn it, without the music. So listen to any of your favourite movies. If you could remove the score, if it has a score or a soundtrack, if you could remove that and watch it and still like the movie, then it really is your favourite movie. I think music adds, as it does to life in general, adds an extra nuance that maybe you don't notice unless it's not there. So, anybody any particular favourite movie soundtracks or scores stand out to them?
Probably 1983 Transformers movie.
That's just the animated, the
You
original.
got the touch.
You see, yeah, by
You got the power. All right,
that's
making
Vince
me edit that
DiCola.
again.
Yeah, that a film that will always be in my top 5 movies. Because that's Vince DiCola and Stan Bush. Kids, Google Stan Bush. He's great. We all wanted to be Stan Bush growing up. If you want to be in a band,
It sounds like you could find some dodgy things searching for that one.
possibly. Yeah, be careful. The great thing about
Make sure parental controls are on when you search that one.
the really good thing about that is
Or off.
he's
Probably on.
Vince DiCola
For the
did the
kids.
score, and Stan Bush did most of the out-and-out rock songs. But they worked really close together, so there's lots of melody and riffs that mirror each other, so it's almost seamless the way it goes from a kind of electronic, because it's robots and cyber stuff, into the song, and it's a very seamless transition build up, and I think that's very clever. More movies should do that. Nigel, any movie music that grabs you?
don't remember who the composer was, but I really like Scanner Darkly.
Good film.
Fantastic music. Yeah. It's a
Don't
Philip
know
K.
that.
Dick
Yeah.
novel.
It's another one you want parental control on.
Keanu Reeves, I think, was in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
One of his better efforts.
Yeah, well, it's because he was because they had that special effect. I forgot what we call it. So they were kind of like cartooned. They cartooned over the
Nice.
film. So it sort of reduced the dimensionality, which works quite well for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. The first thing that springs to mind is probably the Transformers movie, actually. And as mentioned, Tarantino movies, he just, while there's rarely a score as such, but he does use music very well and very varied. The kind of thing, the next time you hear that song, probably for years to come, you instantly think of that scene.
Yeah.
From whether you like the movie or not, if you saw it, he's tying that in is something he does very, very well.
Yeah.
So any Tarantino movie, or to be kind of hip right now, the Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex first animated series, the first gig. The soundtrack for that, I think, is used really, really well, and that's a soundtrack that I actually went out and bought, and I actually have on and listen to regularly. It's more a soundtrack than a score, but there is a lot of instrumental stuff and things. And again, scenes just pop in my head straight away as soon as I hear it, and it put me onto a few different kind of weirder Japanese artists and instrumental artists and things that I wanted to look up, and it expanded my mind. It was like Sonic LSD.
Ooh.
Or something. Yeah, I think it's really good. You probably won't like.
I think I've seen Ghost in
anything
the
about
Shell
it.
all over Netflix, so I might look it up.
There's plenty to
Start
go
watching
at.
it.
There's plenty to go at. The anime's
Or
great.
listening to it at least. Yeah.
Well, so that's movies. We're no homework this week.
No.
Let's have a week off. Let's relax, chill out, see if we can remember the riffs we've come up with today.
That would be good.
So we'll have that in his heads instead.
I'll tell you what, I never did any of my homework at school, so this week will be a bit like being at school again.
Actually,
Not doing the
I think
homework.
you've earned it. You've earned it. I think we've all earned it. But we will be back. We will be back with a new topic and a new episode sometime next week. And until then, Mad Foxes, I'm Johnny.
I'm still not good.
And I'm still Nigel.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.